Hello and welcome to Stanchion Snacks, a bit of a mouthful. So this weekend we are back at St Mary's for the daunting task of top of the table Middlesbrough. Today's dish I'm very excited about. The ultimate matchday snack, the ultimate Stanchion snack, the humble burger. Now when I was looking at the list of players to represent in this episode, there was one name that jumped out. So today's episode is Scott McDonald. So we are making a Big Mac, baby, the ultimate matchday snack. Now we're gonna make it Australian, as Scott McDonald is Australian. Now when I was 21, I actually moved to Sydney and I worked in some restaurants there. And the one thing that I sort of realized is that there's three things that Australians have in their burgers that we don't have here. So I'm going to be making a Big Mac and I'm going to be adding them in. So most Australians will always expect there to be an egg, fry him up and put him in. And then the other two, which are a bit more obscure. Now the first one, which I did remember, is of course beetroot. But then I was talking to one of my friends who's a chef about this episode, and they said, well, you need pineapple. And I completely forgot Australians have pineapple. So there will be a little bit of pineapple. The first thing that we're going to get on is the beetroot, because that takes quite a while. So we need a little bit of tin foil. Just give it a little wash. Straight into there, a little bit of oil. Maybe a little piece of garlic. So we'll just crush that. A little bit of salt. Now, I only use Maldon's. Crack black pepper. And we're just going to wrap that up into a little parcel. Anything will do, you just don't want the air to come out. And stick that into the oven for about an hour. And through the magic of television, here is one I prepared earlier. Oh, this is dangerous. I'm gonna have to put an apron on. White shirt, beetroot. I know you were probably expecting a sexier apron from me, but this is the first one I could find at such short notice. This is my, you know what? The only football shirts I own a lot of Southampton shirts, as you will see in this series, and then a few Parma shirts. That's my Italian team. But the only other shirt I've occasionally thought would be fun to own is the grey Man United one, which obviously very famous story. Well, I tell you what, if you're not a Southampton fan, I'll tell you the story. United famously turned up at the Dell wearing a grey shirt. We were 3-0 up at half time. So at half time, they came out in a blue and white shirt. They changed their kits because they said they couldn't pick out the players. They scored 1 goal in the second half, but we still won 3-1. Famously, they came back the following season in the blue and white shirt, and we beat them 6-3, which is something that people often get a little bit confused. They think it's the same game, but it was 2 games. Anyway, so the beetroots come out, and then you can basically, with your fingers, just sort of pull the skin right off there like that, and that bit there, and then you get this lovely, beautiful beetroot. Now, obviously, you can buy beetroot cooked if you like, but I wouldn't be much of a chef if I didn't show you how to prepare it properly, would I? This beetroot's going to be the first item in our relish. So we're basically going to make a burger relish and then turn it into a Big Mac. So I'm starting with about 3 parts tomato ketchup to 1 part mustard. Add more mustard if you want it spicier. That's a good colour. And then I'm just dicing up a banana shallot. It's a beautiful, nice, slightly sweet onion. And then we're just going to dice up also some gherkin. So first of all, slice it. And then you want it to be roughly the same sort of size. And then we're going to do the same with our beautifully cooked beetroot. And then finally the pineapple. So top and tail it so that you've got a nice flat edge. And then with a knife with a bit of flexibility, you just want to take the edges off like this. And then some nice slices using the whole of the knife. Again, dice it up, roughly the same size. A few chives there, mix it all together. Add the mustard and the ketchup. And there you go, burger relish, done. So then we just want to prepare our usual sort of Big Mac accompaniment. So a few slices of tomato. This tomato is actually out of my nan's garden. Nice one, Nan. Not that she knows how to watch YouTube. And I will actually season that right now. I don't mind seasoning tomatoes a little bit early sometimes. It's just a little bit of salt there. I only use Maldon's. A few little slices of gherkin. Just a nice slice of lettuce. Normally you would use iceberg, but I've got this little butter lettuce. Anyway, hey, little tip. When you get to the end of your lettuce, cut it off like that. You can cut an even bigger bit. And then if you just stick in a little bit of water in the windowsill, it regrows. So look, there's another one. So I always just have a few of them growing in my windowsill. Now this you want to do very near the end, because this will colour. But there we go, lovely bit of lettuce. So we've got our accompaniments. We've got our traditional Big Mac accompaniments: lettuce, tomato, sliced gherkins ready to go. We've got this Australian burger relish, which is a little bit powerful. We won't be using loads and loads of that. So now it's time to start cooking the burger. So I get all my meat from my sort of local butcher. I don't actually eat a lot of meat, believe it or not. I know the last few episodes have all been meat heavy, but I am going to slip back into a slightly sort of more of a vegetarian state of mind. But when I do eat meat, I like to know where it's come from. I actually think my personal views is that if we were less extreme on either side of people that do eat meat and people that don't, and we met in the middle, perhaps I think we could make a lot of good to the world. And if I get any sort of success off the back of these episodes, I would love to make a documentary called Meat in the Middle, where we try and sort of create this beautiful, more sustainable, eco-friendly world where people that do eat meat kind of know where it comes from, and they make better choices, and there's less sort of scaremongering of don't do that, you know. I think we need to be more in the state of, if you're going to do it properly. Anyway, but that's my slight little rant. So I've just picked up this this burger from my my local butcher, and it was £1.35, I think. I don't know what it weighs. Well, we might as well find out, actually. Why not? I'd imagine it's about 4 ounces, something like that. So let's do that. This will come on in grams probably. 4 1/4 ounces, that'll do, which is 120 grams. Beautiful. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to split it in half. And I think for now I'm not really going to season it, so that we're going to basically do, you know, like a Big Mac is the OG smashed burger, really. So we're going to create these two sort of big, almost like meatballs, and we're going to smash them in the pan. Toast the bread, put it all together. I will just have a quick hand wash. Okay, so I've got a pan getting really nice and hot. I've got my little tray here because we will give it a little flash through the oven. Then all we've got to do is the bread. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I feel nice and relaxed, like I'm not. So, and then you need something to smash your burger with. I'm going to use the bottom of my favourite cup, but you could use anything you like. Just make sure it's very clean. Can just smash it. Want this to cook evenly, which is why you would use a weight, I guess. Really hard sear, nice and quick in the pan. Nice bit of colour there. Straight onto our tray. And I've realised I've forgotten the bloody egg, but that's okay because we will cook the egg in the same pan. So again, a little bit of oil on the hands, nice and flat. This one's probably a bit bigger. If we were going for Michelin star, we would always do that the same, but yes, that's much better. Nice and flat, straight in there. A little bit of Maldon's. And we can start cheesing up. So I know really we should be using sort of cheap burger cheese, but I'm going for whatever I had in the fridge basically, which is a bit more of a sort of just a classic cheddar. Straight onto there. And you know what? I don't think I mind cracking the egg straight into that pan. I want it to sort of cook quite quickly. Don't mind this sort of, so, and because we will flip this. Not that bothered about it being, and then I'll swap those over. High heat under there, low heat under there. Let's get the cheese on this burger, because all we really want to do now is melt this. If my burger's still a little pink in the middle, I don't mind that. I'll take the risk. I could talk to you a long time about why you can eat pink burgers and why you can't, but now is not the time. So look, there we go. That's just going to get a flash. We're just melting the cheese. Egg is beautiful. Saint-Pierre. Traditionally, this probably should have had sesame seeds. That one's really squashed. Oh, are they cut? See, I don't know why people are obsessed with cutting buns at the moment, because we need free tiers, definitely. So I'm just going to cut the middle, the bottom one, and we're going to butter all 3 pieces straight into a hot pan. I've actually had an emergency in my kitchen this week. I've broken my butter dish. So if anybody's really enjoying this channel and wants to buy me gifts, you know, like I'm an influencer now, please buy me gifts. A butter dish is what I want. Maybe like a, you know that Lurpak guy? He was quite cool, wasn't he? That smells like it might be too hot. Oh no, that's great. I wouldn't mind him. If there's a Lurpak butter dish, go for it, guys. Butter on each one. That one's really nice. I wish they hadn't have cut these, but hey, I could have bought buns that hadn't been pre-cut. I could have looked at that in the shop. Oh yes, there we go, there's one. I'm going to flip my egg at this point. These are great buns. So, we'll wait 1 second for the middle. Where do I put the egg? That's the question now, because we're obviously going to go with a Big Mac. You just repeat yourself, but we're only going to get 1 egg. Maybe I should have cooked 2 eggs. But as they say, 1 egg is enough. It's one of my favourite jokes, that is. So I'm turning my oven off. I'm turning my egg off. I'm getting my middle bit out. Turn that off. So, here we go. Now, try your burger relish. If it is too hot, you can put like a bit of mayonnaise or something like that in it. But I don't mind it. So, I think we go relish first. You know, just sort of that amount. It's lovely and pink. Then let's go a nice pinch of lettuce. Do Big Macs have tomatoes in? They must do. Let's put this one, which is a flatted one, on there first. And I might put the tomato on there and a little bit of gherkin. Like that. This one I think is going to be completely plain. And then more burger relish on there like that. So we made a bit too much. More lettuce. I like lettuce, and there's some gherkins thrown in there for good measure. 2 more bits of tomato. Burger number 2. And then, he nearly forgot about him. Sorry, buddy. But it wouldn't be an Australian burger without the egg. And then maybe just a touch more relish just on the lid there. Kapow. There you go. Now, I haven't been to McDonald's for a while, but I think that looks a hell of a lot better than the Big Macs they're serving up. there you have it, people. My homage to Scott McDonald, an Australian Big Mac. It's a bit of a mouthful. You know what it does need though? Is a little drinky. Now, normally I think if I was at McDonald's as a little boy, I probably would have had like a Fanta or a Coke, but I'm not a little boy anymore, am I? So, for this to be properly Australian, a tin of Foster's, wahey! Now, when I lived in Australia, I would have been drinking, you know, like much better beer, Cooper's, Pale Ale, things like that. But for today, there we have it with here. Look at that. That is a Big Mac. Bon appetit. Wow. When I tasted the burger relish on its own, it kind of was a bit too spicy, I think. But when it's all mixed together, it's absolutely delicious. That's one mouthful. I can probably eat this in minimum, if I was really trying, 2. Got enough of that nostalgia about it that it's ticking those boxes, but also it really does taste sort of pimped up. It's a perfect sort of balance of everything. It's sweet, it's sour, it's savoury, it's salty. The egg is delicious. You can actually taste the cheese. Now, originally I was going to use real cheap, nasty American cheese, which all you're getting from that is the texture, I think, which I quite like. I like that softness, I like the texture, but there's just that little bit of sort of slight maturity in the cheddar. Sensational. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please share it with your friends. Please do like and subscribe. I know people are a little bit scared to subscribe. My mum was scared to subscribe to this because she thought she had to pay money. It's not, it's just like following someone on all other social medias. But cheers, enjoy the game. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this burger. Up the Saints.